Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, TheRumpledOne, coming to you on Monday, November the 11th. Veterans Day. The year is 2024. Let's talk trading. Weekly open and gap. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. And a friendly reminder, risk management. Never lose more than you're willing to lose on any one single trade. So, taking a look at the weekly dashboard, once again, it's Veterans Day here in the US of A, so the banks are closed, markets are quote-unquote closed, but we have filled all the gaps, the pound gap down and filled, and right now we're 35 pips below the weekly open, 53 off the high, 17 off the low. Oh, let's zoom out to the monthly. 25 pips below the monthly open. We're back in that lower wick zone of the month. 175 off the high, 39 off the low. For the day, we're putting in the opening range. We've broken out of the opening range for the month. We're below it by 10 pips at the moment. But you can see we've got a nice 70 pip range on the day. And considering it's a bank holiday, that's not bad. For the year, only 162 above the high right now. 560, above the yearly open, 163 pips above the yearly open, 559, 560 off the high, 575 off the yearly low. Friday was an inside bar, and we are below the low of that inside bar by about 8, almost 9 pips. Notice if you look left, we're in these wick zones here. Once again, 70 pips on the day. Did something happen to the euro? There must be a bad tick. Yeah, there has to be a bad tick. Let me reload that. Good grief. If you were short and you put a cover on that, that would be huge. That would be huge. I don't think they would cover that. They would probably say, no, you don't get that trade. Oh, I hit the wrong button on the wrong chart. That's going to take a while. But that's one for the record books there. I'm curious. Wow. Let's see, let's get the time on that. 14:16. Is that right? Huh. It's showing that, but if you look here, it looks like that spike is ignored. That is just crazy. Really crazy. Okay, so back to it. If we look here, we can see that we've got pretty much a downward move or bias since we crossed that weekly open. Looking left, you can see here price has moved up. Oh, this might be quote-unquote support becoming resistance. You green rats, you've got enough range. You're going against a day, but you're going with H4. So I like to see H4 and M30 match, or M30 and D1 match. So here you could be trading short looking at this downward slope here, lower highs, and just trade the pullbacks, these pullbacks to these lower highs with the daily candle color. Bias near the pivot is long. You can see we're just above that pivot, and it looks like it ran up about 5 pips past that pivot, so that would have been a nice little trade if you nailed it. Speaking of pivots, we haven't hit the daily pivot yet. Doesn't look like we're going to. We haven't hit the weekly pivot. We have to wait and see. But we have taken out the monthly pivot. So this hour is still bullish. I'm trying to see, do I see any imbalances? Yeah, I see there's an imbalance between here and here. Price might try to get back up there. 70 pips, 0 percentile. We haven't broken out of the range, so inside bar so far. Looking at simple price action. Remember, price on the pound on the M30 likes to try and cover these M30s. So this one's uncovered at the moment. This one's slightly uncovered. That spike, I'm actually chatting along with Michal Kreslik of Kreslik.com. He's over in Monaco. He said he didn't see a spike. I wonder if it was just on the broker, because I looked at a different feed on the broker and they don't have that. So might have just been a bad tick somehow. And you can see here we're going below that lower high. Bunch of red. And let's see, price might want to try and test this low again. I see an imbalance here, trouble zone here. Okay, let's go ahead and look here for the right now the week inside the lower. Switch to the week. We're inside that lower wick zone. Strong control by the sellers. It says fade the pivot, so we'll have to see what happens. And was it a week or so ago, Walmart was talking about having a line chart. And so you can see here we've got the wick zones. I like to use M30. And you can see here price doesn't like staying in the wick zone, even though that wick zone doesn't have much much range there. This one's only 3 points. But you can see here indicator 2, also, or the EMA 5. And the reason why it's indicator 2, because most of the time you just have one color. But the way I have it coded is if price is above it, it's aqua. If it's below it, it's magenta. And just so you know, these dots are, I'm trying to remember what the dots are. I think, oh, the dots are the previous midpoints. Nope, they're not. That's not the previous mid. What do I have these dots set at? Oh, close, previous, open. So, if the price is above the previous open and the dot's aqua, if it's below it, it's magenta. I should probably change the wing ding on that because I use those diamonds. Even though it's called dots, I use the diamonds, but I should probably use a different, something different for a wing ding. And that's the font that puts that out there. So you see we got a close above the previous open, got a close above the indicator 2, and as you can see, it looks like price is trying to move up. And also notice I mentioned I added the bid and the ask lines to indicator 2, to the TROHL5. So instead of having the lines come all the way over here, they just end right here. You've got boxes and description. So you can see here the spread 0.4, 0.2, wow, tight spread. So fellow traders, that's it. Hope you had a fun and safe weekend, and I hope everything's in the green, profitable for you at the moment. So as always remember and never forget, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.